Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and today I am going to show you my favorite items to buy at Costco for my prepper pantry and or long-term food storage. This video has been a long time coming just because we don't really get to Costco very often. I did opt to get a Costco membership instead of a Sam's Club membership just because I have found a lot of better ingredients in some of the Costco items. I will say they're not perfect just like any other store, but I found a better selection when it comes to my prepper pantry. And I know a lot of you have always asked questions about, do I buy in bulk? And I absolutely do. This is when Costco comes into play or Azure Standard. And that's typically where I'm buying my bulk food. But Costco has some specialty items and they're on some really good sales right now in the summertime. And we go maybe once a month now just to check out some of those items and get it on our shelves just in case of any winter shortages, any emergencies that may come up, any job losses, power outages. I mean, you name it, that is what we prepare for. So if you are new here, hi, hello. My name is Tori. I am a wife, mother to 3, and I'm a newly stay-at-home mom. So I like to teach you how to be prepared on a budget. We ourselves are on a money-saving agenda. That is what we are doing. We have a lot of goals in mind, and in order to achieve some of those goals, we're going to need some cash. So with inflation happening, it is a little tricky to save money, especially when you are putting food back for emergency situations. But I feel like it can go hand in hand to save you money in the long run. So I hope these videos are helpful. I will apologize. I've been away for a few days just because family is visiting. And honestly, we are not doing prepper pantry hauls all the time on the channel just because we do want to start saving a little bit more money. So if you are excited, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. I'm going to get you turned around and show you what we got. Please remember, this is my list. It's personal to my family. So if these items don't work for your family, that's totally cool. No need to comment things like that. But in the comments, let me know some of your favorite items to buy at Costco for your family. I know we could all use some inspiration, and I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Alrighty, I have come to a quiet place, and now you may be thinking this is a very small list, and I will say it is, but there are some things not pictured. 1, 2, you can find them at other places that have a better price. So that is why I have this right here. So I wanted to go through each one, tell you why I like it, and tell you how I store it and what you can do with it, because there are a lot of different items here that you can use for multiple things. So starting off with organic avocado oil, there are some oils that if you store long term, they will go rancid. So I suggest sticking with olive oil. I mean, that's going to be fine. Stay away from seed oils. Avocado oil can store not indefinitely, but a very long time. And you have to be careful with your avocado oil. I try and get organic, and this is, I don't know, the closest thing to like a Costco version, but all you have is organic avocado oil, and that's it. It's from Washington, and I think it's great. The smoke point is 500 degrees, and I like to make homemade mayo with this. If you have chickens and say you're without power and maybe you, I don't know, want some mayo, you can put an egg in there, use some avocado oil, a little bit of lemon, some sort of acidity, and then some seasonings, and go from there. But avocado oil you can use for just about anything. I like to use it for frying as well. So this is my oil of choice, and then I go to olive oil if you are on the oil game. So speaking of oils or shelf-stable fats, I am talking about butter. And I'm competing again with my cooling system. I apologize. I pick up the Costco grass-fed, grass-finished butter to make shelf-stable clarified butter, so ghee. And what you do is boil it, it separates essentially, and then you can can it and make it shelf-stable. And I used to get Kerrygold, which I thought was the best for that, but Costco has a great grass-fed, grass-finished version, and I believe it's like 3 pounds for $11 or something like that. So that is also an option, and that is in the refrigerator, but you can find that at Costco, so yay. So when we were talking about shelf-stable fats, that is one on my list that I always like to pick up at Costco because it has such a good price. So avocado oil and the grass-fed butter is great. Next on the list, Wild Planet, specifically Avocor Wild Tuna. Now, there are many canned proteins at Costco. And, I think they are a great price point, but you have to check the ingredients. There's a pulled pork, there's a pulled beef. My new Costco, the one that I go to, doesn't have a pulled chicken, a canned chicken. So I'm not sure if yours does. Let me know in the comments down below. Maybe we will be getting one soon, or perhaps I just wasn't looking carefully. But the Wild Planet is sustainably pull and line caught. I think it's great because it's wild caught tuna. It tastes amazing, and there's no water or oil added. So these can last a very long time. I would not say indefinitely, but canned protein is great because you can add it to many different meals. And we will move on from here and tell you what you can add it to. But I really love having a shelf-stable meat available to me. A shelf-stable protein is great if you are finding that in beans, but a bean protein and a meat protein are completely two different things. And I have found that I just feel a little bit better when I'm consuming fish or meat. So here is this pack, and I believe this is $14, $15, which may seem pricey. Of course, you can find things for cheaper, but when it comes to Wild Planet, this is going to be the cheapest option. And then when I was talking about adding it to items, I like to pick up their organic pasta. And now you get 6 of these, and this one I'm not sure of. Someone's gonna have to remind me. I don't have my receipt with me, otherwise I would tell you exact prices. But the organic pasta, they come in all different kinds of varieties, and my kids really love these noodles, but these are great to put in Mylar. And I've had a comment recently talking about Mylar, and yeah, it's bad for the environment, but Mylar is great in a prepper situation because you can add hot water to it, and that's exactly what I would do in the event of an emergency. I could add a little bit of protein to this, maybe a canned vegetable and a sauce, and then just let it cook in that Mylar bag. Is it going to be a perfect pasta? No, but that just brings you to more opportunities. You could put some sort of shelf-stable soup in there. Dr. McDougall's makes a great version of a plant-based soup, and then you could add something to it if you wanted to. That's just an option. You could use ramen noodles, but Mylar, when I'm looking at it, it's just great to cook in. And moving on from this pasta, this will store indefinitely in Mylar. Just put a little bit of an oxygen absorber in there, depending on the pasta. Moving on to Mylar and how I would store things. Peet's coffee. This is the ground coffee, and yes, instant coffee is the best to store in the Mylar bags if you're not doing whole bean, but ground coffee works just fine. And I first heard about Mylar in art school, believe it or not. I was a printmaking major, and my professor stored her homemade inks in Mylar, and I've been doing that ever since. But when it comes to storing food, not printmaking ink, I was storing coffee in Mylar bags when my husband and I would go backpacking, because I could just pour some hot water in there, let it go. I would put it in a gallon container, and then I would pour it in our carabiners with a little coffee sleeve in there, and it would just sift out all those coffee grounds. Of course, you could bring your own little, French pressed with you, but I found this was the best way to do it because it could just sit in the vessel that it already came in. So this is great. Again, ground coffee would be like last on the list to store in Mylar for your prepper pantry, meaning you want whole bean first, then instant, then this coffee, but it works. And I find that the French roast, dark roast, I really enjoy it. I'm a medium roast kind of gal just because it has a high amount of caffeine and I need it being a busy mom of 3. But Peet's coffee, really phenomenal value for what you get. And then I find that most of Costco's coffee are whole bean, and we don't really have a grinder. There are of course ways to make coffee without the grinder when you're getting it whole bean, but we really enjoy Peet's coffee. So go ahead and check that out. It is organic too, which when it comes to coffee, I try and buy organic as much as possible. You are welcome to do your research on why organic coffee is important. And then I have 2 more on the list. And the first one is going to be wine. I am rather new to wine at Costco. Our last Costco did not serve alcohol, but Colorado has since changed some laws around, and I think that's why. But wine, of course, you can drink it. You can barter with it. We talk about that all the time, but you can also use it in cooking. You can use it as a marinade. Of course, you could use it for its antioxidants, and some people may think this is a bit strange, but you can add a cup or 2 to your bath water and it can absorb, and you can get antioxidants in that way as well. A lot of people, I get it, you can't store alcohol because you can't consume it, but I think it's a great inexpensive way to keep something unique on your shelf And if it ever came down to it, of course, you can barter with it. And this is a red wine variety, of course, but if you were storing white wine, you can clean with white wine. And I have tried it before. I clean my mirrors with it, I clean my windows, and it works just great. If you're not drinking it, you can do that. You can make homemade vinegars with these, but there are a lot of different things you can do with wine. And if you ever have some, I don't know how, going to waste on your shelf, then go ahead and use it for one of those things that I just talked about. But great price point. The Syrah was $6.99, and I believe there are other Costco's that have varieties that are, $3.99 and $4.99. So let me know if you get yours. I love the organically grown wine. I've never tried this one. I'm hoping it's not too sweet. I'm more of a dry wine type of gal, but this was another item I picked up that I felt was a bit unique for your prepper pantry and maybe something that you haven't thought of. And then last on the list is going to be some of the salmon. And I, of course, get salmon just like this, but they have wild caught salmon, and you can divide it and can it and then save it for a rainy day. And I think it's a great price point. I got a very long piece of salmon for $10.98 today, and it was wild caught. So always look for wild caught when it comes to your fish. It's better for you. That's just a fact. I've gotten some arguments lately about that one. I am not here to argue with you about wild caught or organic. That is just what works for my family. And if I find it at a great price, I always try and share it with you. So those are my favorites at Costco. Aside from bulk rice and beans, these are going to be my favorite go-to buys whenever I go to Costco. I'm picking these things up. So I hope these were helpful. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite is. I knew I was forgetting something. I always pick up beef jerky at Costco when I'm not making my own. These are great for bug out bags, and they have the 1 pound bag so you can share with your family. So definitely check this out. There are, of course, grass-fed, grass-finished ones, but we are going down the lines of ones that we like, and this has relatively clean ingredients. So yay, beef jerky, great one to have from Costco. Alrighty, my friends, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed my favorites from Costco. If you like videos like this, if you want me to go to a store and tell you all of my favorites, I can do that. It's one of my favorite pastimes, just passing the time, walking the aisles and seeing the deals, reading the ingredients. I really don't mind doing things like that, and I would love to make that into a video series. Please know that I'm in Colorado, so there are some stores that I don't have. Like, I don't have an Aldi, but let me know. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see next from me, and please let me know some of your favorite Costco items to stock up on for your prepper pantry. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative. I will catch you on the next one. Bye, everyone.